You know what? I remember when I was a child, and I remember when I was a young adult, and even in my middle age, and I'm beyond middle age now, and I'm almost 64 this year. And by the way, I count it a blessing to be here. I'm grateful to the Most High for allowing me. You notice how I thank Him? I know that I'm not living just because of my own volition. I don't have the power to do that because we can die of anything. But I'm grateful that He has had mercy and grace on me through my troubles and my trials and my aches and pains and so forth. I'm still here and I can articulate and I can still express myself. I can still think for myself, and I'm alert and oriented. And I still have some meaningful purpose in life. But what I'm getting at is this: I was in the military for a short stint, honorably discharged back in the 80s. I've had a few businesses. I have children and grandchildren and a great grandchild. And I've worked in nursing. I've done a lot of things. And you know what? I have observed the world that I live in, that we live in collectively. And being a man who studies the scripture and the world in which we live, I don't believe that we have a whole long time left on this planet being unscathed from war, especially this country that we're in right now. I've heard people talk about it. Donald Trump mentioned it many times when he was running for president, and he mentioned it again when he became president about there possibly being a World War III when he was talking to Zelensky. In many interviews, you know what? We are not the only world power. There's China, and there's Russia, and there's North Korea, just to name a few, and there's other countries that have the potential to fight back if they had to. And because of the two wars that have been going on for the past several years now, Russia, Ukraine, and Israel, Hamas, and so forth, and then others that they don't tell us about, there's a military readiness over in the Middle East right now that they're not making us all privy to, that's going on. And something is about to hit the fan. And honestly, it's already began on some level. And oftentimes, the powers that be, our country, since it controls the media, it actually does. It's not a private media. And it controls what the population watches and hears and sees in print. So they suppress the information so you don't know what's going on behind the scenes until it's too late. So that's really what's going on right now. So we can set all of our future goals and ambitions and think it's going to come to fruition one day, but you better think a little bit more broader scope, because I believe, this is me, from the life that I have lived and from my time in the military and so forth, and looking through spiritual eyes, I believe that somewhere between the next now and the next 10 years, America will be in an actual war again, and the casualties are going to be great. It doesn't matter how much we brag about having the greatest military in the world. But do you think those people are saying the same thing to their own in their countries? Those other nations? They preach the same sermons to their people. We are not the only ones that have missiles and technology, submarines, ships, and an air fleet. We're not the only ones. So we cannot look at this thing one-sided. So you better gird up your loins, as the scripture says, and prepare yourself for what could be really the inevitable, because it's going to happen sooner or later. We're living in Babylon. And you may not want to admit this. You can take it any way you want to. You think, well, we'll be around for the next 20 years, no problems. How do you know that? The writing is on the wall. If you pay attention to what's going on across the world, and we are a world economy. Yes, we are. So you need to prepare yourself mentally. The physical comes next. Prepare yourself mentally, emotionally for what's already happening and what's going to happen. And above and beyond that, you need to prepare yourself spiritually and make sure that you have your houses in order when it's time to face the real king, the real leader of the balanced universe, Yahweh, Allah. That's all I'm telling you. You need to start getting closer to your family, closer than you have ever been before, because we actually are living those last days now, whether we want to admit it or not. May Yahweh bless you and keep you. This is Brother Teacher. I only say these things to you because I love you. That's it. And that's all. Take care of one another. And above all, love one another and yourselves. Take care.